Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the Esports Broadcasting Network. My name is Ryan Williams. I will be your solo dolo host for the night. My normal broadcast partner, Mr. Ben Bruno, is out with some family troubles. Hope the best for Ben. He should be back by Thursday night's DOB broadcast, but I will be joined by Mr. Brad Kirby up there in the production tower. He's going to be in my ear all night long, and we're going to have a bunch of fun here from the world-renowned Tricky Triangle, the Pocono Raceway, here in beautiful Log Pond, Pennsylvania, for the Western States Racing League Truck Series, their 44th season, with Bentley Glazer currently leading the way in the point standings. And a lot of guys already out there on the track taking some qualifying times. We see last time out's winner, Mr. Jeff Hollingsworth, in the 97, cutting a couple of laps. You see a lot of guys out there trying to tackle this 2.5 mile raceway, the 3-turned Pocono Raceway, as I just stated. 3 turns, very tricky to get around. We're going to see a lot of guys doing a little bit of slipping and sliding, some wall banging there. As you take a look back, if you can see Jackson Bell bangs off the wall, so that's going to mean his lap time won't count here. Remember, with the iRacing servers, if you hit a wall during qualifying, that lap is a no-go. We look back at the board sometimes, starting to come in. It's Bentley Glazer on top, early Earl Weaver, second quick so far, David Wood, David Weaver, and Jeff Hollingsworth being the slowest out of the 5 who have taken time so far. And if you guys do remember, we did take a week off from the WSRL Truck Series. They were at Chicagoland last time out. Jeff Hollingsworth took the victory over Bentley Glazer. Hollingsworth moved into second in the point standings, jumping over Bob Beltrami, who looks to be quick here tonight. Glazer still sits on top as you look back at your qualifying board. Carl Burke second. Fuson jumps up into third, with Hutchison, Weaver, Wood, Weaver, Hoffman, and Hollingsworth rounding out the people who have taken time so far. And ladies and gentlemen, it is once again a great pleasure to be back with ESPN. I was forced to take a week off last week, so you had Mr. Frank Marchese and Ben Bruno bringing you what was the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series and the Big Block Modified Series last weekend, and they had so much fun. And unfortunately, due to my outside of ESPN schedule, those two will be on the call once again come Thursday night. But first task at hand right here at the Tricky Triangle, as we've had 12 cars take time so far. A few more look to be on track. Hoffman just got done with his laps. Wood done as well. Dustin Burns has just made his way on the track, as well as Bob Beltrami. Kyle McCartney coming back down pit road. Looks like he may have touched the wall both laps, so that could be devastating for McCartney, a one-time winner so far this year with the Western States Racing League. McCartney, bad luck, as he did touch the wall on both laps. Burns begins his lap number 1. Beltrami begins his lap number 1. Wayne Fleet as well. So a lot of guys out there cutting their laps. Ryan Steele was decently quick on his first lap at a 55.942. Currently sitting 6th. Sorry about that. Steele looks a little bit quicker here as he comes down the straightaway. Not quite, as he'll clock in with a 55.958, their lap number 2. So still plenty of time for these guys. 5 minutes left to qualify. You got Wayne Fleet in the beautiful Winn-Dixie throwback number 6 machine out there, currently coming around to take his green flag for his 2 qualifying laps. And if you're just now joining us on any of our social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, if we're there tonight, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, drop a follow and a like on Facebook. Get us to our goal of 1,500 subscribers. We're almost there, clawing and scratching at the goal. We'd love to see us hit it within the near future. We know that we're on the iRacing portal tonight, so we should have a decent amount of people tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. where you're watching this Western States Racing League broadcast from. And who knows, you may get a shout out as the night goes along. Tonight for me is going to be a lot about fan interaction. If we've got fans in the chat, keep talking to us. Let us know how you're enjoying the show, who you think's going to win, and everything in between. A lot of very, very fast Camping World trucks here tonight at the Pocono Raceway. You see there at the top of the board, it's still Glazer who set fast time in practice and now qualifying. Jeff Hollingsworth, the Chicagoland winner, is currently in second. Bob Beltrami, the leader of the Western States Racing League Series, he currently sits in third in his number 14 truck. Carl Burke, a good, solid qualifying effort from that driver who's had some very bad luck. If you'll remember, 4 weeks ago, at the Lucas Oil Raceway Park, formerly known as the Indianapolis Raceway Park, if I can get my words correct, Carl Burke was that driver that we saw take off like an absolute rocket straight towards the moon. Luckily, all is fair and game in sim racing, and it doesn't cost anything to buy a new truck. So Burke is back out here at the Pocono Raceway. Still 3 minutes left for Jeff Schmeier, Mark Redeker, a name we haven't seen very much. Keith Kelman's not going to cut any laps. I believe Kyle McCartney was that driver who hit the wall on both laps. Eric Woods hasn't taken laps yet. Neither has Dan Stussy or Brian Barnes. Barnes was very, very quick in practice. Again, a winner at the Texas Speedway earlier in the year. Barnes has been consistently fast, but has just not found what it takes to get back into victory lane thus far in the past 5 or 6 weeks that I've been on broadcast here with ESPN for this WSRL series. Again, a little bit of history about the Western States Racing League. They have been around since 1999, I do believe. Let me just check my thing. Yes, they have been around since 1999. I was 1 year old when WSRL began, and they've been through many, many versions of sim racing and have held strong throughout that entire time. 44 racing seasons. I believe that's equivalent to about 2 per year. So 2 seasons per year. They're going to shoot for their 44th and 45th season this year. And again, your current points leader is Bentley Glazer, who has been consistently fast all year, trying to go ahead and wrap up a points championship here, as he currently leads Hollingsworth by 36 points. Beltrami's 39 points back, McCartney 46 points back, and Barnes 52 points back. The next person back is Ryan Steele, sitting 73 points behind your top 5. So still a very small split between your top 5 in points. So really, if Glazer runs into trouble throughout the second half of the season, anybody can sneak up there and take it from him, and that's exactly what Jeff Hollingsworth is just trying to do. Again, him and Glazer are teammates. They do race together very, very frequently. In fact, Hollingsworth has admitted that most of his setups come from Bentley. He tweaks them a little bit and makes them faster, and luckily for him, that got him to break the ice once again last week, scoring his second win on the season. Again, the early part of the season was dominated by Glazer, who won 3 in a row at one point, 4 wins total on the year. And your other winners are Beltrami, McCartney, and Barnes, with Charles Woods, I believe, picking up a win as well in his only start on the year. Let's see who else we got. Jackson Bell has 1 win. So a few races in, we see a lot of different guys with a win on the year, but nobody quite as dominant as Bentley Glazer has been, as qualifying is now coming to an end. Redeker, Woods, Kelman, McCartney, Stussy, and Barnes will not take times, so that will put them at a great disadvantage going into the race. Schmeier came in last second and put her on the pole as well. Sorry, I did miss that, but I now know about it, as we are going to get right into our starting lineup for the night. Rolling off on the pole in the number 22 machine, you have Jeff Schmeier. To his outside, you'll find Bentley Glazer. Row number 2 finds Jeff Hollingsworth in the 97 alongside Bob Beltrami in the number 14. Row number 3 sees Carl Burke and Jackson Bell side by side. Row number 4, you'll find Dennis Fuson and Ryan Steele. Rounding out your top 10 will be Wayne Hutchison in the 17 and David Wood in the number 27. Next row back, row number 6 finds Paul Hoffman and Charles Woods. Row number 7, Earl Weaver in the 46 and Dustin Burns in the number 04. Row number 8 finds the number 48 of Mark McFadden alongside the number 99 of Barry Phil. Next row back, starting in 17th, will be the 20 of James Campbell. Alongside him, the number 6 of Wayne Fleet. Starting 19th will be the 11 of Timothy Bates. Alongside him, and 20th will be the 16 of David Weaver. And then your 6 cars who did not take a time will round out the field. That'll be Brian Barnes, Kyle McCartney, Mark Redeker, Keith Kelman, Eric Woods, and Dan Stussy. Big things coming down from race control that we just got mention of. Unlimited sets of tires here for these drivers tonight. If you've watched WSRL broadcasts in the past, you know that they're usually limited to 4 sets of tires. Tonight, no sorry, Bob, no restrictions on how many sets of tires these guys can use. We take a look at the iRacing pace truck really quickly. It looks like lights are out, so he is going to duck down as we come out of turn number 3. As they say at Pocono, what turn 4? There is no turn 4. There's only a turn 3. It's one big, long, sweeping curve, and going into it right now, Jeff Schmeier, now donning the number 22, will lead us to green with Glazer to his outside. It's on him and Hollingsworth, as I believe we are just about to get ready to go here from the Pocono Speedway. Again, 2.5 miles per lap, 64 laps the distance. This one's going to be hot and heavy from the drop of the green flag. The iRacing pace truck heads through turn number 3 and out and in to the pit road as the green flag flies. The leader bangs on the loud pedal. We're underway here from Pocono. Clean and clear, looks like into turn number 1. Guys jostling for position already, 2 by 2 by 2, and we got some 3 wide action into turn number 1 as that 17 truck heads to the inside. We're 3 wide for about the 7th position on back between the 17, the 23, and the 18 machine as your leader is still Schmeier up there leading Glazer. Ooh, Beltrami with a big bobble. They're coming out of the half turn number 2 and into turn number 3. Hollingsworth already looking to make up some ground on Glazer as he's just inching ever so closely right now. Pretty single filed out. Nobody really trying anything spectacular. We do have a 3 wide battle brewing between the 48 of McFadden, the 18 of McCartney, and the 11 machine of Bates. As now Brian Barnes is going to make his way into the mix. They're battling back there for about the 17th, 18th position. As the rest of the field beginning to make their way away from that pack of 5 or 6 cars at the very back. And right now, all Schmeier out front as we work down lap number 2 into the half turn number 2 and out down the second back straightaway here. Again, Pocono, a tricky track to try and get around, an even trickier track to try and watch as you're used to keeping up with turn 1 and 2 being in the same corner, turn 3 and 4 being in the same corner. But here you've got 3 very, very different turns, all at 3 very, very different stages of the racetrack. A battle brewing now for the 4th position. That's Burke on the outside, Bell on the inside. Burke has the advantage position there will get a nice run. If he can hold that line, he'll get a nice run. Coming out of the turn, Bell gonna shoot up the track just slightly, hugging up against Burt, gonna keep him right beside him. Good battle here between the two. As Bell gives way, Burt moves in to position number 5. And now they head once again into the half turn number 2. Bell not quite happy with losing a position there to the number 53. He peeks back to the inside, nothing doing for him. We look even further back. We've got a battle right now between the 27 of David Wood and the 3 of Paul Hoffman. Wood going to take the 10th spot from Hoffman for the time being. Hoffman holds that outside line. As we saw earlier, the outside is advantageous as Hoffman goes right back around into the 10th position on the racetrack. And they're going to fall single file. The 46 machine of Earl Weaver working down the 40 of Charles Woods. Currently, we got even more battles going on behind them. Man, we got action all over the racetrack here, working down lap number 4 of 64. You see that 04 of Dustin Burns to the inside of the 99 of Barry Phil. Not quite going to make the pass. Phil able to hold the advantage on the outside, and that tags along the 11 of Timothy Bates to get around the 04 of Dustin Burns. Out in front of them, it is the 4 of Brian Barnes starting to peel away from that pack and make his way towards the front. Barnes, of course, was your fastest man in practice. Didn't cut a time in qualifying. Started in the back of the pack. He's currently up to 15th. From 21st to 15th in 5 laps for Barnes. We head back towards the front of the pack. Let's see if we got anything brewing here. As you've got Glazer just stalking the backside of Jeff Schmeier. I think Bentley Glazer here is going to bide his time and try and work off some laps before he makes any crazy, amazing moves. And it looks like the 97 of Hollingsworth is doing the exact same, as we've got about an even split between your first 2 cars and your second 2 cars. That, of course, is Glazer, Schmeier, Hollingsworth, and Beltrami. All of those cars being very, very high in the point standings here. So this night could have major implications if something were to go wrong on any of those machines. Out of turn number 2, we got a second pack brewing. The 53 of Carl Burke looks like he has a little bit of problems. He's going to allow the 27, now the 40, and now the 46 to the outside. So some problems for the 53 of Burke. Big right side damage right on the tire. And if the tire model were a little different in this build of iRacing, that could be very, very problematic. But luckily for that driver, pop tires aren't really a thing right now. So he should be okay with that heavy tire rub that you see to the right side of that number 53 machine, donning the Esports Broadcasting Network logo on the back of it. And we thank him for that. But tough break for the 53, already only 7 laps into this race. Remember, these drivers do have that one faster pair, but early damage like that is damage that you can easily go in and get situated with just a couple of seconds of repair. Another battle brewing right there in front of Burt is the 18 of McCartney, jostling with the 46 machine of Earl Weaver. McCartney has that inside advantage, going to make it work. Slides just a tad off of turn number 3, but makes her stick. These tires are now hot, and you're going to see a lot of these guys pushing the envelope, so to say, to make some passes happen. The 53 of Burt is now back up to speed, luckily, making his way towards the front once again. And again, we look back at the front of this race, and nothing has changed at all. All of these drivers are still relatively the same way that we last saw them, whether it be Schmeier, Bentley Glazer, Jeff Hollingsworth, or Bob Beltrami, still evenly spread out, just cutting away at laps here as we're working down lap number 8 of 64. So it seems like it's a shorter race, but I guarantee you this is not a shorter race as we're driving a much, much bigger track than these guys have seen so far this year. Yeah, 26 cars are on track right now. Dan Stussy being the last one. 18 seconds back of your leader the last time by. So not in any shape where he would be getting lapped anytime soon. For all we know, unless we have green flag pit stops, you will not see a car go lap down here most likely. With a track this big, it is highly unlikely that anybody is slow enough to go a lap down under full green flag conditions with no pit stops. But when green flag pit stops do happen, this thing is going to get jumbled up. We see here a battle for second may be brewing. Hollingsworth gets a little bit of a run on Bentley Glazer there. He ducks to the inside, might try and make a move here in turn number 1. Keep your eyes peeled on the battle for second as we head into 1. Hollingsworth makes the pass happen. Glazer puts up no fight whatsoever, and that is going to open the door for Beltrami if he can establish a run down the first section of the back straightaway. Beltrami not going to make anything happen. You look right behind him. Look who's lurking in the shadows. It's the number 23 of Jackson Bell. Bell lurking in the shadows, and he's going to bring a partner right along with him. It's Ryan Steele in the number 19. So you're seeing a front pack of about 6 guys pulling away from the next man back in 7th. That is Dennis Fuson, who's 3 seconds back of the leader. And that's a pack of 2 cars. And then it's another 2 seconds back to Paul Hoffman, Charles Woods, and David Wood, who are 9th, 10th, and 11th. So a few different packs forming here so far as we are clean and green through 11 laps. Picking back up the action, if you'll look at the battle for 17th position, Timothy Bates peeks to the inside of Mark McFadden in the number 48. Bates slides a tad bit up the racetrack. McFadden goes high to not make any contact. Bates sticks it on the bottom there. McFadden has an advantageous run down the back straightaway. He's going to haul along with him the 60 machine of Mark Rediker. So the two Mark and Mark connection making their way around the number 11 of Timothy Bates down the front straightaway. So Bates falls all the way back into the 19th position. McFadden up to 16th. Rediker 17th. Bates 18th. I'm sorry. The next man back is David Weaver in no contention to take a spot away. So now Timothy Bates has to regroup here and try to make a run back towards the 60 and 48. A little ways up, you see the 40 machine of Charles Woods making a couple of moves, gets back around the number 27 of David Wood. He falls in line behind the 3 of Paul Hoffman, who's a little bit squirrely off of the turn, heading down the back straightaway. The 40 is going to try and take advantage, slides it in there. In the turn number 2, I believe, that is turn 3 actually. What turn 4 they say is Hoffman. Slides down once again off of the corner, but the 40 just nowhere near making a move now. He's going to stay right in line. Taking a look at your front pack, the 97 of Hollingsworth is right there on the backside of Jeff Schmeier. Hollingsworth peeks to the inside. I'm glad I looked at this battle because it's right now brewing. Hollingsworth to the inside into turn number 2 here. Takes away the lead. Schmeier going to give way, fall back in line, and try and line up a shot to get back around that 97. who right now looks to hold the outside. The 22 looks to the inside, nothing doing for him. He'll fall back in line. We've got a new leader in turn number 3. His name is Jeff Hollingsworth, as he'll lead us into lap number 14. Battle for the lead situated there between Hollingsworth and Schmeier, as nobody's making a challenge as of now. Again, the next group back from your lead pack is Dennis Fuson and the 17 of Wayne Hutchison. They're just kind of riding around, seeing what their trucks can handle here tonight. And right now, we are beginning to get into the pit strategy portion of the race. We get to about lap 25 to 30, so 10 to 15 laps from now, these drivers are going to have to start thinking, hey, when are we going to pit and what are we going to do? Again, unlimited sets of tires here, so they can be as playful as they want to be. And I'm sure we're going to see some guys reach into the bag and pull out the whole cat, the whole magic trick, to try and get an advantage on the competition. No other real battles brewing as we look through the field. I mean, you got a battle back there between the 11 and the 60, and they're both trying to get around the 48 of the 72-year-old Mark McFadden, a wonder story in the iRacing service, who slides right up in front of the 60. We got 3 wide down the back straightaway, heading towards turn number 3. They all settle each other out. My mistake, that was turn number 2. They all settle each other out back to single file action. The 11 makes it around both the 48 and the 60. The 48 of Mark McFadden gave everybody a scare there as he just bobbled just a tiny bit. And that may open the door for the 6 of Wayne Fleet, as well as the number 20 of James Campbell and the 16 of Earl Weaver, all making their way towards that pack of 3. And in that pack of 3, the 11 of Bates is now pulling away, inching closer to the 99 of Barry Phil. And there's a lot of ground between most of these drivers. Battle up towards the front. You look at the 23 of Jackson Bell. He's battling alongside the 14 of Beltrami. They're neck and neck down the back straightaway currently, with Bell going to have the advantage on the inside in that turn number 2. He's going to get right by Beltrami. Beltrami going to slide down behind him. Going to come down the front straightaway and not try anything as of yet. We'll probably see Beltrami dip to the inside here, trying to make a pass once again. But so far, Bell's going to hold the bottom line, not let Beltrami get down there. Another battle we got brewing, the man who's coming from 21st. It's Brian Barnes in the number 4 car. He's battling his way around the 3 of Paul Hoffman. Makes the pass clean down the straightaway into the tri-oval, turn number 2 and out. Down the second back straightaway here, Brian Barnes, a man on a mission here. What a wondrous story it would be for driver number 4 to tap the wall both laps during qualifying, have to start in 21st and make his way all the way up to the front. And if he does it under green flag conditions, it would make it that much sweeter for that driver. Further back, Hoffman now going to fight with David Wood for that 12th position. Wood making a run into turn number 1, not going to try anything just yet. They're going to go single file here, but Wood seems to have the slightly faster ride right now. Maybe tire wear is playing a little bit of a factor as he's going to hit the bottom side down the front stage of the match straightaway. Might dip her off into turn number 2 here and try to make a pass. Not going to try it. He tried to pull the okey doke on Hoffman there and stick high and hope Hoffman would go low to try and block. But Hoffman didn't quite do it as they both stayed high. Hoffman retains the 12th position currently We look even further back. Everybody's pretty well single file out. Your leader is still Jeff Hollingsworth. Beltrami drops another spot, that time to Ryan Steele. So move Steele into the top 5. Beltrami outside of the top 5 into 6th position. As we work down lap number 19 into lap number 20, we want to remind everybody watching on the Esports Broadcasting Network that tonight's broadcast of the Western States Racing League at the Pocono Raceway is sponsored by DiecastNuts.com. DiecastNuts.com allows you to post your own diecast collection, add to it, or trade in the shop feature, and you can also see many members' diecast collections at DiecastNuts.com. You can also follow them on Facebook at DiecastNuts. We are also brought to you by Rocket Racing Setups, one of the leading setup builders in the entire iRacing community. I know that I went to Rocket Racing Setups whenever the Bristol dirt track first came out, and they gave me a blazing fast setup, and I won many races with that setup actually, and they are updating every week for whatever official series comes, whether it be asphalt, dirt, road course, you name it. Rocket Racing Setups has your back with everything from setups to tuning guides to fuel sheets and much more. You can find it all at rocketracingsetups.com. And the Western States Racing League is also brought to you by the YouTube channel Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. You can find some amazing videos on outdoor cooking on the YouTube page, Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. Be sure to subscribe to them today. And as I finish up the PA read, Jeff Schmeier hard into the outside wall. That's going to put a heavy lick on the right side of that number 22 machine. So a little bit of damage there is going to open the door right up for Jackson Bell. Again, that's going to open the door for Bell and Steele and Beltrami as they all three stalk the 22 of Schmeier. Schmeier's a driver that we've seen have a lot of success, but also a lot of bad luck. Every time he seems to be out front, something catastrophic happens, and he's forced to make his way from the back. And that little love tap to the outside wall could be the straw that broke the camel's back here tonight at Pocono. Beltrami looks like he's going to be your first man to dip down pit road as he does so here on lap number 22. Well, look at that. A little bit of strategy there for Bob Beltrami. Going to take advantage of the no tire regulation rule here tonight. And he's going to go in and get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. That battle there for the 3rd position still carries on with Bell and Steele right on the back bumper of Jeff Schmeier. Bell now going to try and dip to the inside. Going to try and carry a run off of turn number 2 here at Pocono. Not quite going to get any advantageous run as he's going to fall further back behind Schmeier, who's currently not letting the love tap to the wall get the best of him, and he holds down his 3rd position. Wayne Hutchison now hits pit road, followed by the 12 of Fuson. Charles Woods stays out so far. Let's see if we've got any other takers right now. Look back at your leader, Hollingsworth. His lap times have slowed a good bit. He's now running mid-57 lap times when he qualified at a 55.766. So a good ways back now, but he is inching closer to lap cars. That is the 3 of Hoffman and the 27 of David Wood. Both of your leaders continue to stay out here, as I don't see anybody new coming down the pit lane. Fuson just now getting back out onto the track. David Wood and Paul Hoffman still trying to hold off your leaders. They sit at about a half a second ahead of your leaders from going a lap down. Currently, it's Dan Stussy being the only man who has DNF so far. He pulled off 2 laps ago. He currently sits at 2 laps down. And when it does update, I believe the number 12 machine of Fusan will be scored a lap down. Nope, not quite. He is currently sitting in 18th position after the last time by. And then for Dustin Burns, Kyle McCartney, Carl Burke, Brian Barnes, they have also pitted as well, I do believe. Back at your leaders here. Hollingsworth and Glazer still out there, still egging away 25 laps into the 64 lap main event here. Bell has made his way around Schmeier, so he currently holds the 3rd position. Schmeier back to 4th. Ryan Steele lurking in the shadows there in the top 5. Charles Woods on the outside looking in, 10 seconds back of your top 5. So you've got 5 drivers within 2 seconds of each other, and then the next man back is 10 seconds back. Jackson Bell pulls up limp slightly down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He allows both the 22 of Schmeier and the 19 of Steele to the inside. Maybe signs that that driver's coming into the pits, and it is, as Bell pulls into the pit lane here on lap number 25, make it 26 as he crosses the stripe. Back out front, it's all the Hollingsworth and Glazer show. They are both lightning quick here, using, I believe, a shared setup, if I'm not wrong. They usually trade setups back and forth, see which one's faster, and figure out which one they both want to use. These guys helping each other tremendously here, and it has paid off so far this year. Both drivers are the only 2 in the series with more than 1 win on the season, with Glazer having 4 and Hollingsworth having 2 to his name. So right now, that Coast Guard Safe Light Auto Repair number 97 leads the way, with the unsponsored number 87 of Bentley Glazer in tow into lap number 27. Ryan Steele drops a spot to Jeff Schmeier. Schmeier rides back in the 3rd position. Steele back to 4th. Charles Woods still rounding out your top 5. Evenly spread out cars here. Jackson Bell back on the racing surface after pitting. Brian Barnes currently rides in the 20th position with a beautiful looking number 4 Camping World race truck after his pit. A lot of guys still have not come down pit road, and they will be here very, very soon. You see Beltrami there going down the back straight away. He's got a lightning quick truck. Carl Burke has DNF from the server. He has hopped out. So unfortunate there for driver 53. Not quite sure what happened to him, but he is out of the race here tonight. The 6 of Wayne Fleet with a hand out the window, signifying that he will come down pit road out of turn number 3 as he battled there with the number 07 and the number 48. There goes that beautiful Winn-Dixie truck down to pit road speed, and he is in. We're coming up on the halfway mark here of the race, and neither the 97 of Hollingsworth or the 87 of Glazer have hit pit road as of yet. You have to be thinking, are they talking to each other right now and figuring out strategy to use with each other? Or are these two guys in a bit of a battle trying to see who the dominant teammate is here and playing a little mind tricks on each other by staying out here 29 laps in to this race? More trucks making their way to pit road. That Hot Wheels 50th anniversary machine of Mark McFadden with some rear right side damage. He's going to get that one patched up with some 200-mile-per-hour tape, and he's going to get right back on the speedway here. The 99 of Barry Phil pulling out as McFadden pulls in. So a nice clean stop there for Phil in the number 99 Jegs machine. As he pulls back out onto the racing surface, you see there Jeff Schmeier falling further back from the 19 of Steele as they both just passed the 99 of Phil. And way out in front of them, it's still the 97 and the 87 show. That is Hollingsworth and Glacier as those two guys continue to duke it out to see who the dominant teammate is here tonight from the Pocono Speedway. Once again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight for this broadcast of the Western States Racing League Truck Series. These guys a little over halfway. This will be round number 12 of 20 on the season, so a little over halfway, and they are continuing to put on amazing shows as we look back at the front of the field. New leader down the back straightaway. It's the 87 of Bentley Glazer. So Glacier to the lead. Hollingsworth going to look to the inside, not going to make a move. He's going to stay right there behind Bentley around turn number 2. That may indicate to me that the 87 or the 97-1 will be hitting pit road this time by, as the 97 of Hollingsworth seems to have given up on the push back towards the front, and that is exactly what has happened. Here comes the 97 of Hollingsworth down to the pit stall for 4 fresh Goodyear Eagle tires. Schmeier in as well. Locks up the brakes. You can see him glowing red there on the number 22 machine. Schmeier, man, we've seen Don 3 or 4 different numbers on the year. He's driven the 25, the 30, now trying the lucky number 22. And so far, so good as he's holding down a top 3 race as of now. He's going to pull into the pit stall for fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. Let's see who wins that little battle off. Hollingsworth will probably have the advantage, being that he was so far out front that he does. 97 down and away here. Caution free to the halfway point, lap number 32. Caution free so far. Now an update, your race leader, the 87 of Bentley Glazer, down pit road. We've seen Glazer have one incident so far on the year of too fast entering, and that took him out of the race 3 weeks ago at IRP, I do believe. So Glazer this time looks like he got down and in rather, well, not quickly. He got down and in at the correct pace, so good pit stop there for Glazer. Stops on a dime. The 07 of Keith Kelman with a hand out the window, signaling he will be coming as well. So we're getting into the latter half of green flag pit stops here. The 14 of Beltrami's in. The 16 of David Weaver's in. A lot of guys here taking their green flag pit stops on lap number 35. Or 33, excuse me. See there, Glazer back out on the racing surface. Still scored on my end as the leader, but that will not be the case as we come around next time, I do believe. That sounds about right. Bob Beltrami is currently tapped as your race leader. Out in front of Mark Rediker, I believe, is the only truck that has not pitted yet. I'll let my iRacing servers update real quick to tell me who is in the lead. It's Beltrami, Bell so far. I'm not using our live timing and scoring, which I should. And if you're an iRacing user out there and you're not using live timing and scoring application, you very well should be. Go download it today, but it is Beltrami, Bell, McCartney, Hutchison, Barnes, your top 5. Those were all your first pit stop takers, and has proven to be effective so far for Beltrami, but the big question is how much longer will that machine last after he pitted so early? So Bentley Glazer currently scored in the 6th position. Currently has a huge gap on Jeff Hollingsworth, so not sure exactly what happened there. Hollingsworth did pit before Glazer, but Glazer is now in 5th as he passed Brian Barnes last time by. Hollingsworth dips to the inside of Barnes this time going into turn number 1. So those two, not sure what happened there that got them so split up, but Glazer is the benefactor of whatever it was as he dips to the inside of Hutchison, going for the 4th position here into turn number 3. Make it turn number 2. I get these turns so confused here at Pocono. I am so sorry. This is the first broadcast I've ever done on the Pocono Raceway. The first race I've actually ever been in at the Pocono Raceway here on the iRacing service. Watched it a lot in my real world experiences, and it is a fantastic track to say the least. One of the better tracks in the NASCAR circuit, and you're seeing exactly why some of the best drivers on the iRacing servers are taking to it here tonight. 36 laps so far, caution free here at Pocono. Does not get any better than this. Picking back up here with Glazer down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Currently the fastest truck on the racing surface. Hollingsworth second fastest it looks like right now, as he is following right in line with Glazer, but a couple of cars back as he's gotten to now get around the 18 of Kyle McCartney. So your two quickest drivers so far in this race sitting currently at 3rd and 5th, as those guys are going to try and work back towards Jackson Bell, who made a pass on by Beltrami for the lead. 5 seconds out in front of Glazer. Beltrami 1.2 seconds back of Bell. So this could turn out very, very well for Jackson Bell if he can continue to maintain that lead and stretch it out even further here. So we're beginning to get into the get up and go section of this race for guys that are contenders. They're going to have to start getting on those high horses. As you see there, the 97 machine of Hollingsworth now to the inside of the 18 of McCartney. Going to make the pass for the 4th position. Ooh, McCartney almost up into the wall. Going to hug her down off of it and continue on in the forward direction. Ooh, a yellow flag to change things up here. See if we can go back and see exactly what it was. So your first caution here for the WSRL Truck Series comes on lap 38. Jackson Bell was your leader. Let's see exactly what happened here from driver 23. Was looking at the lap car of the number 20 machine of James Campbell. Oh, what in the world happened there with Campbell? We can get some information there. Brad, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but it looks like the 20 machine of Campbell just took a hard right into the 23 of Jackson Bell. Interesting happenings here from the Pocono Raceway. Not sure if that was intentional or not from the 20 machine into the 23. It looks rather intentional, but I will not make any assumptions from up here in the broadcast booth, as you saw there on the ESPN replay. But a dangerous move there from the 20 of Campbell may have just taken the 23 of Jackson Bell out of the race, but luckily for Bell, he does have that fast repair to use. Terrible incident there, as race control may have to take a look at it. And we'll see who our pit road takers will be here, as the yellow flag is out again on lap number 39 of 64. And tough break for Jackson Bell, a driver who's won a race. I wasn't aware that he would have any enemies of the sort, but it looks like that might be what happened there. So again, I'm not going to make any assumptions, but we've got Bell leading a line of cars into pit road. Beltrami, the latest one to come down, and for Beltrami, he is taking advantage of every situation. There was the first one to pit, looked up and got a caution, and now he's the first one into pit road here. I'm going to keep my eye real quick on the 23 of Jackson Bell, see if he's got a fast repair to burn. Doesn't look like he's repaired it just yet, so he may be out of luck. Let's see what he does here. Jackson Bell has DNF'd from the race. Tough break there for Bell. Unfortunate what happened. Again, I don't want to speculate, but possibly something race control is going to have to take a look at there. But coming out of pit road first will be the 14 of Beltrami, followed by the 87 of Glaser, the 18 of McCartney, the 97 of Hollingsworth, and the rest of the field on back. You see the 22 of Schmeier there behind them, and these guys are going to line it back up and get ready to get going. Three-turn style here at the tricky triangle of Pocono Raceway. Again, race fans, that unfortunately is not the kind of driver that you want to be when you hop into one of these races. Don't be that guy that loses your cool and shoves somebody into the outside wall. I know we've all had our moments, but those kind of things matter, whether it be reputation-wise, whether sponsors are looking at you and you do something like that on a broadcasted event, it makes you look bad. Again, not pointing any fingers, not trying to call any names here, but do not be that guy. It looks awfully bad there for the number 20. Hopefully that wasn't intentional. Hopefully something happened. His cat may have jumped on his keyboard. Anything could have happened there, but it does look pretty bad on the part of the 20 machine of James Campbell. Again, a tough break there for Jackson Bell. Was leading this race. We reached out to him to see if he wants to leave any comments to it. Clean, of course. but not sure what happened there between the 20 and 23. Didn't see any rough driving on anybody's part up until the incident. But back on the racetrack, lights are out on the Chevy Pace truck. The 14 of Beltrami is your leader. Green flag flies. We are back underway once again from the Pocono Raceway. The 14 of Beltrami is your leader with the 87 of Glacier in tow. The 97 trying to make some moves, and these cars are all over the racetrack as we head into turn number 1. 18 working down 87. It's Glacier riding in second. McCartney gets a run down the back straightaway. They almost touch. McCartney sticks it to the inside, makes the pass. New second place man, it's McCartney. And now here comes the 22 of Schmeier to the inside of Glacier as well. Slide out of the 22 of Hollingsworth. 2 cars in the wall. The 18 gets into the wall as well. Big slide. That allows the 14 to stretch his legs. 97 machine of Hollingsworth falls back into the mix after tapping the wall. We got him mucked up here going into turn number 1. Big battles all over the racetrack. Your 2 that escape that unscathed are the 14 of Bob Beltrami and the 87 of Bentley Glazer. Everybody else, it's seeing tap the air down the front straightaway last time by. They're finally starting to get resituated here as we talk about it time and time again. Cold tires lead to cautions. Cautions breed cautions. The whole 9 yards. Luckily, we didn't see it just then. Battle now brewing for the number 6 position. That's the 17 of Hutchison on the inside. The 18 of McCartney to the outside. That 22 of Schmeier looking to make some moves on again. You see him bobbling around down there. We got some tandem drafting going on, it looks like, between the 18 of McCartney and the 4 of Barnes. The 22 machine's trying to get back to the front. This is the kind of action that we were looking for from the Pocono Raceway. As these guys, you could throw a blanket over them, battling for the 6th position there. Oh, between the 4 and 17, and around goes the 17 into the outside wall. Luckily enough, those 2 drivers did not collect anybody else. Hard-nosed racing there for the 17 of Hutchison, and the 4 of Barnes could result in terrible news for both drivers. As you see Barnes trying to hug the inside and do what we call side drafting, trying to get some momentum out of the corner there as we pull up the ESPN replay. 17 glides not by himself up the track, barely taps the floor, and around both cars go hard into the outside wall in turn number 3 there. And they've both gotten them back to pit road. They'll get a quick repair on them or a full-on repair. Brian Barnes in and away with a quick repair there. So unscathed for Barnes, but the 17 machine, terrible, terrible break there after such a good run. One of his better runs so far on the season for driver 17, Wayne Hutchison. And just like that, in an instant, a good run can be turned sour. This could also be very interesting in this race, as you see a bunch of drivers, mostly all of them, coming down pit road. Beltrami leads them down pit road with Glacier in tow. Looks like they'll all get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and a splash of Sunoco Racing fuel to get them back out there on the racing surface. Beltrami has run a perfect race so far. Still around 18 laps to go for him to make it or break it here. We'll see who's the first one down and away. The 12 is the first one out of the pit stall. That is Dennis Fuson. Let's take a look at Fuson here. He will win the race off of pit road. So Dennis Fuson will lead us back to green. Jeff Hollingsworth there isn't the second man out. Let's see who is. We look at Fuson, and then right behind him is Bentley Glazer. Then Bob Beltrami, so a big switch up here with Paul Hoffman being the 4th off, Jeff Schmeier 5th off, Ryan Steele, Mark Rediker, David Wood, Charles Woods, and the 46th of Earl Weaver. But we're going to have to see who stayed out to determine what our lineup will be, as once again, these drivers did not have very many green flag laps there between pit stops, so those guys out there on older tires could still be pretty set to go here for these remaining 18 laps when we get back going green. And as I stated, the one man to stay out was the 18 of Kyle McCartney, so he's going to be the proverbial lucky dog there, attaining the race lead with, it looks like, Barry Phil in the 99 in tow. So the iRacing servers will update it. Is McCartney in the race lead? Barry Phil rides in second with Dennis Fuson, your winner off of pit road, taking 2 tires. Will ride in third. Bentley Glazer after 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles will ride in fourth, and your top 5 is rounded out by Bob Beltrami. Lights are out on the iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck, and in about 1.75 miles, we are gonna go green here once again from the Tricky Triangle, the Pocono Raceway. This could very well indeed be said very too many times there, but this could be very interesting here for the 18 of Kyle McCartney. A lot of heavy right side damage there on that Toyota NASCAR Camping World Truck Series truck, the Toyota Tundra. There it is, Ryan. You figured it out. Toyota Tundra. It'd be so much cooler if these things were Tacomas. They should start that. The NASCAR Mini Truck Series. You got Tacomas, S10s, and Ford Rangers. That would be absolutely amazing. But as I'm rambling on, we're coming down the back straightaway to go green once again here from the Pocono Raceway. 2 cautions into this race. 2 cautions in 47 laps. They're going to try and make it a little bit better here, as last time we only went about 2 laps before we had that big incident. We'll see who has the advantage here, the men on the warmer tires or the people on the colder tires. As the Chevy Silverado pace truck dips off, we're going to pull them belts tight one more time. The green flag flies here from Pocono once again. It's McCartney down and away with a hefty advantage. The 99 receiving a big push there from the 87 of Glazer. 18 goes up to block, going to try to hold down the race lead and hug the bottom line with the 12 of Fuson passing everybody on the inside, pulling into second. The 99 of Phil not quite up to par, as the 87 of Glazer seems to be stuck behind him. To say the 87 sticks to the outside, gets the outside run on the number 99. So we've got almost 3 wide behind him between the 14, the 3, and I believe the 97. Another yellow flag will fly. Caution breeds caution here. Let's see if we can figure out exactly who it was. I believe it may have had something to do with the 04 of Dustin Burns. He was in and out of blink mode for a little bit there. May have triggered a yellow flag here. I'm not seeing anybody else that had any issues on my end. Maybe we can figure it out here as we work down another yellow flag here. 55 laps, or 55 minutes into the server, 49 laps into the race. Whee! I just noticed it. There's big damage to the nose of the 07 of Keith Kelman. Let's see exactly what happened here. If we can view it via iRacing replay, Kelman was clean going in. The 46. Oh man, I'm now seeing what happened. The 46 and 48 machine got together in turn number 2 there. 46 overran the corner, made contact with the 85, and then into the 48 of McFadden, and then Kelman clocked him. Oh man, heavy damage on all of those race trucks. Terrible, terrible breaks for those guys. I apologize that it took us so long to find that. The iRacing servers are not working with us here tonight. But that puts us at lap number 50. 15 laps remaining here. These guys hugging the inside. Let's see if we'll have some more pit stop takers next time by. Dennis Fuson could be the man out front, clean and green for the rest of this race. If he comes in, takes those right side tires, as he took, I believe, left side tires last time. If he takes only rights, he would have essentially 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. Fuson could be the benefactor of everything that's happened here tonight, but Bentley Glazer has been lightning quick, and so has the 14 of Bob Beltrami, and right now, we're not seeing at the front of the pack the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth, who has been a mainstay week in, week out at the front of these races. As we come around, probably to see some more yellow flag pit stops, we want to remind you that tonight's broadcast of the Western States Racing League is brought to you by diecastnuts.com, a great website where you can post your own diecast collection, add to it. You can see other collections. You can do all sorts of stuff at diecastnuts.com. We are also brought to you by Rocket Racing Setups. We talk about them all the time as we see nobody come down pit road. Very, very interesting here on lap number 50 as the lights go out on the iRacing pace truck. We're also brought to you tonight by Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking on YouTube. Go check them out as well, and make sure, if you're watching us here for the first time or the 100th time, that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Look up the Esports Broadcasting Network on YouTube. Find us and subscribe today. Get us closer to that goal of 1,500 subscribers. So after that, looks like we will have a single file restart. The Chevy Silverado of Dennis Fuson is out front of everybody. Bentley Glazer also in a Silverado. So right now, your top 5 is 2 Silverados, 2 Toyotas, and I believe that 22 machine. Yep, the 22 is a Toyota as well. So 2 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and then you got Toyota, Ford, the rest of the way back here. Let's see which manufacturer will be dominant here in the final 14 laps. Into turn number 3 goes the Chevy Silverado pace truck. He will duck down onto the pit road out of turn number 3. What turn 4? There is no turn 4 here at Pocono. It's only turn 3, and we're about to turn the action up here. As he ducks down, the green flag flies once again. Fuson leads the way on the loud pedal, and we've got 14 laps to go. Make it 13, my apologies. Had to do a little bit of quick math in my head there. 13 laps remaining after last time by. Fuson currently your leader with Glacier in tow. Glacier seems to have just as fast of a truck or faster than Fuson. That Tito's number 12 there. Beautiful sponsor on the side of that truck. Absolutely love it. Followed by the Blue Machine, the number 87 of Glacier there. Battle for third between Phil and the 22 machine of Smire, with the 14 of Beltrami in tow there. Phil not really stalling the party, but he's holding it up for a second. Beltrami going to peek to the inside here into turn number 1. Going to look to be the first man around him, but Phil's going to hug the bottom, try and cut off the run, but not going to be able to do it. It's Beltrami to the inside. That allows now the 3 machine to get to the inside of the 22 down the back straightaway. Might try and make a move. Oh, hard into the wall. Let's see who that was. It looked like it was the 04 machine of Dustin Burns. He was able to stay off the wall, I believe, if we take a look there. That's right, just got a little bit squirrely for the 04 of Dustin Burns. He manages to keep it off the wall. We stay clean and green here, working down lap number 53. So good heads up driving by driver 04 there. But right now, Fuson has given up the race lead to Bentley Glacier. No real battles going on right now. Everybody pretty much single filed out. We see the 3 of Hoffman getting a little bit of trouble from the 27 of David Wood. The 4 of Barnes on a charge back towards the front. Remember, he was involved in a caution a little bit earlier in the race. He restarted in 12th last time. Ooh, the 99 of Barry Phil. Slow right there. Barry Phil moving further and further back. Man who restarted in 3rd is now all the way back to 11th. Got moved by the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth, and now he is slow compared to everybody else. Maybe some big damage on the 99 of Phil. Continue to watch there. Barnes around Hollingsworth into the 6th position. So Brian Barnes mounting a late comeback here. Ryan Steele and Jeff Schmeier battling for 4th. Beltrami inching his way closer to Fuson, looking for 2nd. And you've got Bentley Glacier clean and green in front of him, out in the lead. We are inside of 10 laps to go. That means that slap your mama, get on your high horse time for all of these drivers not with this top 3 pack. They got to claw, scratch, do whatever they can to try to get closer to these guys, and that is exactly what Jeff Schmeier and Ryan Steele are currently doing. David Wood having a little bit of problems with his number 27. He just about touches the 85 there, but he drops to the inside, having some throttle issues, I believe, there for the 27. Oh, man, big bobble there. I believe he will bring her into pit road here around turn number 3 and in. So tough break there for driver 27, who was having such an awesome run here tonight. But still, out on the track, it is all Bentley Glazer as he leads Fuson and Beltrami. Beltrami seems to be the second quickest car on the track right now, as he is looking every lap to the inside of that 12, but hasn't been able to make anything happen yet. And don't look now, the 22 and the 19 are coming. But it is Glazer clean and green out in front of him. The 22 and 19 seem to be using some draft to help them catch the front 2 or 3 cars here as they pull up to the backside of Bob Beltrami. Jeff Schmeier was so fast earlier on in the race, but tough luck would find him slapping the outside wall and having some damage, falling further back in the pack. And now he is back up there battling for the 3rd and 2nd position. When will he make a move? Nobody quite knows, as we are getting down to nitty-gritty time here. The 19 Machine of Steel, the first to peek out of line, hugs the inside of the 22 of Schmeier into turn number 3, I believe it is. That's exactly right. It is turn number 3. I'm going to figure out Pocono before we get done here tonight. I swear to it. Still to the inside of the 22 of Schmeier. He'll have the position that's on by at the line, but they are neck and neck. Losing the draft. Them battling hurts both of those drivers as the 14 of Beltrami and the 12 of Fuson begin to put some advantage between those 2 cars. Now, finally, the 22 Machine of Schmeier will give way to the 19 of Steel. As you see there on the inside of the track, the 07 Machine, who was caught up in that previous caution, finally back out there after getting a few minor repairs made so he could get back out on the track. But here, it's put up or shut up time here, so we're coming next time by 5 fingers will be in the air from the flagman here at the Pocono Raceway. Beltrami finally takes the 2nd position away from Fuson. He's going to have the 19 and 22 in tow as they want those positions as well. Fuson back down to the inside. He's going to try to pull the okie doke on the 14 of Beltrami. Here going into turn number 1. Beltrami not going to let it happen. But the 12 is going to give up the outside to the 19 and 22, who are working together very well once again. 19 stays high of the 12, dragging the 22 along with him. But that 12 is going to have an advantage into turn number 2 here. Down the back straightaway we go. $19 of Steel going to take away the position here. Your top 3. That's the name of the game. Get on the podium here. Glazer, Beltrami, Fuson is in 4th. Steel moves up to 3rd here. Lap number 60 coming to 61 next time by at the line. You know, this long race has been an absolute test of my voice. So far, she's held up so well. Super glad of myself for holding up this long, and we are almost all the way home. Bentley Glazer is out front. Then you've got the 14 of Beltrami, the 19 of Steel. Schmeier has made the pass on the 12 Machine of Fuson. He rides in 4th. He's going to want to gain 1 or 2 more spots before this thing is all said and done. And then the next man back is Brian Barnes over 4 seconds off of your leader, Bentley Glazer. So Barnes not quite going anywhere there as he rides in 6th. A valiant effort for driver number 4 after being involved in a caution. He started in 21st. He was up to 4th at one point in the race and now back to 6th. And unless something catastrophic happens here for somebody else, that will be where he finishes here, as we're on lap number 62 here. Next time by, we'll see popsicle sticks up in the air. It's time for Beltrami to mount a comeback out of turn number 2. He's going to have to lay on the loud pedal all the way around if he wants to have a shot at passing Glazer here. Bentley Glazer, a driver who's been lightning quick all year, has won 4 races, looks to get back in the win column after a 4-week hiatus from the win column. Sees popsicle sticks this time by 2 flags in the air, 2 laps to go. Oh, Beltrami with a good run into turn number 1. And out down the back straightaway. Might use the number 6 as a pick here into turn number 2. See what he can make happen. The 6 will stay down and out of the way. Mama, get that camera out because you might need it here into turn number 2. We got 3 cars that you can almost throw a blanket under or over. Here's they go down the back straightaway. It's Glazer out front with about a 4 car length advantage, but that advantage can be shrunken in a matter of seconds. Glazer down the front straightaway this time by. The white flag will wave. 1 lap to go here. Beltrami gonna make a last lap dash towards the front here. See if you can get anything on Glazer here into turn number 1. Beltrami slides it in hard. No contact between him and Glazer, but Glazer's going to have an advantage off the turn and pull away ever so slightly. That may have been Beltrami's only shot at it. The next battle we're going to see is for second, as Steele might peek to the inside of Beltrami here. He's shoving him along down the back straightaway into turn number 2. Beltrami's got a bit of a run here. He's going to have one last-ditch effort into turn number 3. Beltrami sings it off. Not going to have enough here as Glazer gets off of the turn clean, plants it to the ground off of turn number 3. Bentley Glazer is going to win here at the Pocono Raceway with the number 14 of Beltrami in tow and the 19 of Ryan Steele rounding out your top 3. Coming home 4th was Jeff Schmeier, Dennis Fuson in 5th, Brian Barnes, a valiant effort from 21st to 6th. Jeff Hollingsworth, after a tough break early on in the race, rounds it out 7th. Timothy Bates in 8th. Paul Hoffman comes home 9th. Kyle McCartney 10th. Mark Rediker 11th. Barry Phil comes home in 12th. Earl Weaver 13th. Wayne Hutchison 14th. And Charles Woods will round out your top 15. Mark McFadden with a good run here tonight finishes 16th. James Campbell in the number 20 will finish 17th. The 85 of Eric Woods finishes 18th. The 04 of Dustin Burns 19th. And then rounding out your top 20 was the 6 of Wayne Fleet. The 27 of David Woods 21st. 22nd was Keith Kellman. 23rd David Weaver. Jackson Bell, Carl Burke, and Dan Stussy rounded out your field. As Bentley Glazer cuts a couple of donuts, we're going to wait on him to jump into the broadcast booth with us here tonight and catch a word with driver number 87 in just a moment here. Again, as we want to remind you, tonight's broadcast was brought to you by diecastnuts.com, Rocket Racing Setups, and, of course, Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. As now an hour and a half into this thing, I'm starting to finally lose my voice. I'll tell you what, we got 2 people waiting so far. We're going to go in some reverse order action here tonight. First off, we're going to go have a word with your third place finisher, Mr. Ryan Steele. Ryan, a good run from you here tonight. Some late race drama there. Looked like you were starting to push Beltrami towards Glazer. Did you think that you two had what it take to catch him if we had a couple more laps here?
Oh, no doubt we would have caught him. I was hoping we were going to be able to get him on that last lap, but we just didn't quite have it. It benefited me more if Bob could get by Bentley, and so at least it could make something happen. So I was willing to push rather than try to get second.
Well, there with about 20 laps to go or so, you and the 22 of Jeff Schmeier had a nice little tandem going where you caught the top three at the time with Fuson up there with them. And then you two seemed to sort of split up. Was that planned, or did you two just kind of lose each other in the midst of the end of the race?
Well, the split up wasn't necessarily planned. As soon as we caught the guys ahead of us to the point where we wouldn't lose them if we started battling, I went ahead and tried to get a position as soon as I could.
Well, it was still a fantastic race out of you. You had a very, very fast truck all night long. The pit strategy was a little different this week, being that you didn't have a set amount of tires that you could use. How much of an advantage did that play to you guys, even though it didn't really look like you used more tires than what you normally had?
I felt like that getting new tires was beneficial even with as little as 5 laps. It turned out I see a couple people who got 2 tires on that last stop the last time that we went down pit road, that were able to hang on just fine. So that probably would have worked, but there was a pretty significant drop-off within 5 laps, so every time you had a reason to pit, you went ahead and did it.
That is exactly right. And then next week, you take this very good run into the Homestead Miami Speedway, a very tricky track. What are some of your expectations from your standpoint to be able to mount a late season comeback and try to get in the top 3 or so in points?
Oh, I really don't know. It's been kind of an up and down season, so I don't know what to expect. I mean, I had a long stretch going back to last year where all I was doing was just clicking off top fives.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the short track run where I just kept on getting DNFs, and I don't really know. I'm having a bit of a rut right now where I feel like it's been a long time since I've had a really strong run, and it's kind of down about that, I guess.
Well, we certainly all here at ESPN hope you'll figure it out and get on a nice little run there going forward. Before we head over to our second place finisher, Bob Beltrami, Ryan, go ahead and shout out some of those sponsors who's helping you out on the race truck.
Well, I mostly just got to thank my team Dog Bear, always helping me prepare for each week, bouncing ideas off each other. And as always, I want to thank you guys for covering the series.
Well, we appreciate that very much, Ryan. And once again, congratulations on your third place finisher tonight. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
Yep, thank you.
Next up, we'll bring in here a man who had a very nice second place run here tonight. The leader of the Western States Racing League Truck Series, Mr. Bob Beltrami. Bob, it's been a good amount of weeks since you found yourself in the broadcast booth for a top 3 interview. How does it feel? You kind of got the monkey off your back, so to speak, here tonight. That might set you up pretty well for the future races.
I sure hope so. It's good to be back with you guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I went solo dolo here tonight and had a blast watching you guys. And I'm sure that you had a blast behind the wheel of that iRacing race truck, huh?
Tell you what, that last 10 laps was really something. I was hoping I'd have something for Bentley there at the end. I thought there on that last lap I was going into one, and I thought I'd throw it in there underneath him, and oh boy, that got close. Man, missed it by that.
I'm sorry to cut you off there. I mean, it sure did. It looked like you and Ryan Steele had something beautiful going there for a moment. I mean, earlier on in the race, you seemed to play the pit strategy better than anybody else as you pitted really early and then looked up with that first caution. And from there, take me through like your mid-race mindset. Did you think you had the pit strategy down to take home a win here tonight?
Well, I don't know. The bottom line is I was looking down at my fuel consumption. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to halfway, and I was already having trouble keeping up with the leaders at that point, and we're only at about 20 laps. So I think, okay, let's split this up. We'll do the two-stop strategy. I'll have fresher tires, and hopefully I can make up some time. And it seemed like at the halfway point, we were in pretty decent shape. I don't know how things would have turned out, but it would have been fun to have found out.
It certainly would have. And as we look real quick at the points coming out of tonight, there's a good chance that you would jump back into the second position in the point standings. Is that going to change the way or the aggressiveness that you race with in these closing races of this series, or are you just going to kind of keep doing what you've been doing, racking off top fives week in and week out?
Honestly, with a pro like Bentley leading the races week after week, there's only so much that us mere mortals can do. I'm just, going to try and keep my head down, keep it clean, get the best finishes I can, and hopefully I can take advantage when I can, and maybe Bentley will run into a little bad luck. Not that I'd wish that on him, but it happens to us all from time to time, and we'll see how this thing plays out for the second half of the season here.
It is certainly possible. And before I let you get going here tonight and go have a word with Bentley, who are you wanting to thank on the race truck? Who's helping you out nowadays?
Oh shoot! All my teammates at Dog Bear Racing, Brian and Wayne and Ryan and Jeff, and there's a bunch of guys who race in the WSRL, and it's really a great group. The WSRL itself is just really, it's a big team, and we try and keep that atmosphere, and it's a fun group. We're really having a good time.
Yes, sir. We are very much looking forward to being right back with you guys next week at the Homestead Miami Speedway. But for tonight, Bob, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thanks again, and thanks for covering us, guys.
Yes, sir. No problem. And now, much awaited, we will finally get a word with your now five-time winner on the year, Mr. Bentley Glaser. Bentley, for a while there, you and Jeff were having one of those amazing teammate battles that we've seen all year long. And then about halfway through the race, you lost him. And from then on, it looked like the Bentley Glaser show.
Yeah, it was a good race all around from everybody. That was a fun one.
Towards the end there, it looked like Bob and Ryan were mounting an amazing charge on you there in the last 5 laps. Was it kind of like a hold on and pucker moment for you, or did you stay calm, cool, and collected through those last 5 laps?
Oh man, it was intense. I was worried because I saw that I had a 1.1 second lead, and then it was just one lap, and he was a half second behind me, and that's when I started going as hard as I could, and yet they were still catching me. I think one more lap, and Bob would have been there to my inside. It would have been probably a drag race off 3. But yeah, it was just a great race, and good job to Bob and Ryan.
It was absolutely amazingly entertaining to watch, and we go from here tonight at Pocono to a much, much different Homestead Miami Speedway next weekend, or next week, I should say. You currently hold a 36-point advantage over Jeff Hollingsworth in the points. That's going to be extended a little bit with Bob moving back into second. Are you confident enough in your driving capabilities to be able to continue to just mount off top 3 after top 3, or maybe even get another win here as we get into the closing segments of the season?
I like Homestead a lot. If we have long runs, I'll be up there. But yeah, I just got lucky here at Pocono because usually not the quickest here, and they were definitely running me down. So,
well, they were, but all in all, luck may it be. I say you got a lot of skill in them hands that are steering that race car. And speaking of skill, I want you to shout out all those skillful sponsors you got on the race truck before we let you go.
Thank you first. And I'd like to thank my teammates, Tim Bates, or Jeff Hollingsworth, and Charlie Woods. And then thank Western States Racing League, and thanks you guys for broadcasting.
All right. Well, once again, for the 5th time this year, your winner tonight is the 87 of Mr. Bentley Glaser. Bentley, congratulations, and don't go celebrate too hard, buddy.
10-4. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, that should just about do it for us here from the Pocono Raceway tonight. Stay tuned right here on the Esports Broadcasting Network throughout the week, bringing you some of the best iRacing action day in and day out. Again, I myself will not be on any more calls this week, unfortunately, due to calls at work. But I will be back next week from the Homestead Miami Speedway with the Western States Racing League. So if you're just clamoring to hear my beautiful voice, you can find it next Tuesday night from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe here on the YouTube page. And from Brad Kirby up in the production tower, I've been Ryan Williams. This has been the Western States Racing League. Goodbye and good night.